You're listening to The Angry Designer, where we cut through the industry bull to help frustrated graphic designers survive and thrive.
Middle of the week.
Yes.
It's hard to believe that this week's already like halfway. What happened here? I thought we switched to Tuesdays where it wasn't. We weren't complaining about the middle of the week shit.
Right? I know.
What happened?
I don't know. Why did we do that?
I don't know. Something changed. What? Oh, because the cleaners decided to clean. They wanted to switch their day.
Yes.
We were accommodating the cleaners. That's what you get.
We know our priorities.
So fun stuff today. We had a whole bunch of people sharing their Spotify. I guess Spotify just let people know like what they're watching, they're trending, how many minutes they spent, and man, we've got like everybody was sharing like I've watched 1,000 minutes of or listened to 1,000 minutes of your podcast, 2,000 minutes. Somebody with like 14,000 minutes of The Angry Designer. Man, do I love you. Wow. I just want to say, wow, you should be doing this podcast with all that. Holy, that's just amazing.
That's awesome.
I know, right? Like that's kind of cool.
14,000 minutes.
Yeah.
Woo.
I know, right? Again, join the podcast.
Wow.
No, but that's just really cool that Spotify would share something like that, right?
Yeah, totally.
That's it's cool for us.
Yeah.
Because it just means that, people are listening to this, right?
Where you at, Apple? Come on.
Yeah. Apple's falling behind.
Jeez.
So I went to the mall last night.
Oh.
It was Christmas time.
Oh, God.
I couldn't get into it at all.
Oh, you couldn't?
Not that I couldn't get into Christmas. Yeah. Sorry, let me rephrase.
Okay.
I had to go pick up something for my daughter. She ordered it from American Eagle, so whatever.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, okay, I'm at the mall. Let me just go for a walk around and see. And I mean, I'm walking and something's wrong because I think I've gotten too comfortable in jeans and a t-shirt, a hat, maybe my hoodie. And that's what I was last night. Black hat, hoodie. Yep. Surprise, surprise.
A big surprise.
Jeans, surprise, surprise. My kicks, And I'm walking around the mall and I'm looking at all the design stuff and all the new styles and this. I couldn't get into it.
Oh, no.
I know. I hope I'm not getting old, or I find the older I get, the simpler my style becomes.
Yes.
I literally I love t-shirts. I love fun t-shirts. Look at this bad boy.
Yes.
And ours is coming, of course, I'm excited about. And it's just like, I'm building a bigger collection of just simple t-shirts.
Yes. Right.
Is this a bad thing or what?
No, it's a buddy of mine. He goes to Walmart.
Yeah,
and he's pretty low key, but he'll buy like 15 of the same shirts.
Dude, that's me.
So literally, he's got a gray shirt.
My closet is all black V-necks.
Yeah,
I have a couple mock necks, to mix it up.
But you have fun prints on.
I do have some fun prints. Yeah, that's separate. But I do have probably like 10 black V-necks. It's the go-to.
Wow,
it is. Yeah. I know. It makes it so much easier. And I mean, not to go on about how like some of these billionaires are like, I don't have time to pick up my clothes, but I kind of have to. I know where they're coming from because again, to try to follow trends, design trends, fashion trends, it's fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
It's just like, why? Because again, I wear them this year. I'm sick of them next year. I'm constantly having to try to reinvent. And don't get me wrong. When I was, a little younger and into fashion more, I was mixing it up and people were like, oh, I like your style. Yeah. That meant something, right? Yes. Where now it's just like, you know what? I that's not as important to me anymore. I'm kind of going longevity.
Yeah.
My kids only know me as a black t-shirt guy.
That's right.
Right? Like, look, I think I wore like a rust hoodie the other day.
Yes, and I commented on that.
I know, you're just like, I've never seen you in a color. I'm like, I never wear them. So there's something to be said about this, because again, I couldn't get into any of the fashion. Okay, but what did I look at? Okay, the things I did get into, I looked at the jeans.
Yep.
I looked at the kicks.
Yep.
Right? Because I love kicks. And I looked at watches. I saw a G-Shock. Maybe I'll pick up a G-Shock. I've never had one. I hear good things about it. Yeah. But it's like, when it came to the clothes, it just wasn't there for me.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, I guess I don't follow trends. I'm going long term.
Yes.
Which I think is kind of what we're talking about today.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Kind of, right? And it was kind of this, it wasn't intentional, but it kind of worked out perfectly.
Yes. What is better than a pair of jeans and a black t-shirt?
Dude, nothing in my opinion.
And when will that go out of style?
Yeah, it doesn't, right?
Right.
It doesn't.
It won't.
And again, so that works out for the person, right? But sometimes people want to be wearing stylish clothes.
Yes.
And, you know, and again, there was a phase 100% that I was. And I mean, we've got some very, very fancy, nicely dressed, you know, angry designers that follow us. And man, they can pull that shit off. Good for them.
Yes.
I guess it's just, you know, I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm kind of going on the whole long-term thing. I've got a look, I've got a feel, and that's my long-term brand. I'm sticking with it.
Yes.
So we are here today to talk about, it's that time of year where everybody starts talking about 2023 design trends. Okay.
Oh, I love it.
I don't mind the design trends,
Yeah.
right? Because there's a time and place for design.
Yes.
But the second half of this podcast is the 2023 logo design trends. And okay, let's just put it out there. I fucking hate that shouldn't even be in the same.
Yes.
Right? You can't have like logo and trends.
It's an oxymoron, right?
In my
like
opinion,
jumbo
it
shrimp.
is.
It should be together.
It doesn't work for me, right?
Yes.
And we'll bitch. I'll bitch about that. I'm sure I've got lots to say about that.
Yes. Oh, yes.
But you know, there is a place for design trends, and this kind of, like I said, that whole experience last night. There's a time in my life I did want to follow, you know, certain, you know, trendy fashion trends.
Yeah.
And I do think there's a time and place for trends in graphic design. Absolutely there is.
Yep.
It depends on the client. It depends on, you know, what it is that you're working on, the purpose, you know. And of course, we joke about this term, which is a real term, the disposable design.
Disposable design.
Shit that's short term, social media, disposable. It's here, you'll see it for a week and then it's gone, right? And, you know, that's pretty much the lifespan of most of these trends, most of these design trends.
Totally.
So I think there's a time and place for that. So let's start off talking about the graphic design trends.
Graphic design trends.
That we've read over 2023.
That's right.
And then we'll jump into the logo stuff, right?
Yes. The angry aspect is at the end.
Well,
this we can agree on. Some of these I can't even believe they're called trends.
Stupid, right?
Which and we'll talk about that with the logos too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boy, oh boy, there's hilarity.
Some of the most
it
ridiculous.
will ensue when you hear some of that stuff. What is a trend?
So, Sean, you found this list of 10 graphic design trends.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you find this list?
I found this at various websites.
Yep.
You know, around and some forums, Quora, things like that. You know, like interesting stuff, and a lot of it. There's not a lot of commonality. Some of it. Yeah, there were pieces that were together.
Yeah.
But also there were some things that were just kind of like
Out there, right?
way out there.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first one, shall we jump in?
Please, sir.
Okay, all right.
Jump into
Let's
the deep
jump
end.
into this. So the design trend that seems to be making a huge comeback is the 3D or the Memphis style.
Okay.
But in 3D. Do you remember Memphis style?
See, so I think that's kind of neat. I have seen this. I know as soon as you told me about this, I knew exactly what
it was.
I know. Again, I'm a product of the 80s. Totally lived
you
through
and I both,
Memphis
yep.
design, right?
Yep.
Seeing it go 3D, I think is cool.
Yep.
And I have already started seeing that pop up in a kind of couple places, right?
Yes.
Sometimes they're using flat art and just making it like, 3D with illustrations.
Yep.
Sometimes it actually looks like it's 3-dimensional.
Yes.
But I mean, you recognize it right away.
Totally.
Now, my question is, where the fuck is the use for this?
Well, this is exactly it. It's like I'm looking at this stuff, and it's like some of the hallmarks of it are, like bright colors, bold combinations, abstract shapes and things like
the
that.
squiggles and stuff. Yeah.
So I'm wondering what client in the world you're going to get. And maybe some people have funky clients that will go for something
Possibly.
like that. I don't think in our experience, it's going to happen.
Well, it's not, but even other than like in a website header,
yes.
where else could you use this?
I don't know.
Maybe a poster, but I mean, it would be too busy to put anything on top of that poster.
Totally.
Maybe social trends, but again, text over top of that wouldn't work.
Nope.
Maybe some sort of album cover design.
Yeah, there you go.
Like it's cool.
Yeah.
I like the attempt, but I have no idea how to actually make that work.
Yes.
But okay, fine. I can say I've seen that already popping up, so I think that's kind of cool.
And it's very good. Like the original stuff is very cool. Like furniture and stuff like that. It almost
Saved
looks like,
by the Bell. It was on the intro.
Exactly. Yeah. Like it was very, very cool. Like it's an interesting thing. So I would like to see how somebody could make this practical and
Make it practical.
Yes, make it work.
Make it work from A to Zach.
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah. Yes, and I'm not talking, on Fiverr or anything.
Right.
for reals.
All right.
The next trend is kind of an interesting one. Flat retro design.
Flat retro design.
So we're thinking like
I think I know what you're talking
60s
about.
and 70s, like the bright colors, you know.
You're seeing a lot of that
psychedelic
psychedelic text, images,
heavy text.
Yeah, I've seen some of that on package design actually, and
but with a little bit more of a modern kind of vibe to it.
absolutely, I can see that working for a lot of like cool product design, package design type stuff.
Yes.
You know, I'm envisioning, you know, like cans, you know, like cans of whatever, energy drinks, beers.
Yes.
And you've seen, I swear I've seen a lot of this in the craft beers lately, right?
Yeah. What's the
Going with that like Dead and Co kind of look and feel, right?
Yes, yeah. And
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
Again, going back to retro.
yeah. As a musician,
Yeah.
I'm already looking at ways that I could fit this into a band poster.
No, good call. Good
You know
call.
what I mean? So that's
Great for a t-shirt.
This is the kind of thing
Yep.
where I think the practical aspect, you know, where it would actually work.
Yeah, all right. I'm all over that one.
So, and another design trend. This one is very cool. Minimal vintage.
What's minimal? Okay, what is
Okay, so
minimal
this
vintage?
this is not recognizable as retro or vintage. It's new, it's modern, but it's influenced by a particular
Like using characters or techniques or
some of the examples that I saw was like were like this tea company. I can't remember what their name was, but it was like it looked like a 1940s kind of style.
Yep.
But with a very modern
like
kind of look.
Art
The color
Deco-ish
combination,
maybe, but a little bit more
but
modern
not
tech.
as blatant as that.
Okay. So
Yeah, it's
something
a
old
subtle
and
nod.
making it new.
Yes, it's like when you hear a song and there's a sample in the back and you're
Yeah.
like, I know that song
Okay,
from something
okay.
else. That's kind of what it is. It's like a
Kind of making me feel like it's hipster logos. Right?
yes.
Little Art Deco-y, but made to
Yes.
look kind of a little bit more
But
modern.
It's not specific to just the Art Deco. It's,
All right.
you know, it could go. CNET, they did a revamp, and it's a really cool late '60s, '70s kind of vibe, but with a modern flavor. Like
Yeah.
so, it's an interesting style.
Okay. Cool.
Yes,
I think I can.
again, I don't. I'm not sure how many clients are going to go for this. CNET obviously.
Yeah.
Went for
And that's pretty big, actually. That's pretty
huge,
big.
right? Yeah.
So, I mean, again, the first top three of these all seem to have like nod or tipping of the hats to something retro.
Yes.
What's old is new again.
Yes,
right.
exactly.
And I think that on a whole seems to be a trend. Like, you
It's
know, and
always-
we see companies like Burger King literally ripping back their old.
Going back full circle,
back.
yeah.
Yeah, they just went back 30 years and took that logo. A lot of design work there.
Yes.
But then, you know, they also did their packaging
Yes.
with that vibe.
Right.
McDonald's jumped on
Yes.
that, but I think they were probably copying
Yeah.
Burger King more than just trying to redo themselves, right?
I would say that this
Even A&W, technically, what the hell's it with the burger companies? They went retro too.
totally
Come
yeah.
to think of it, burgers are.
Yeah.
Wow, we're eating old
That's
meat.
a great example of the minimal vintage, I think, because the it's not like Burger King didn't exactly rip off them what they did back in the
Yeah.
70s, right? They modernized it. They
Yeah.
gave it a little bit of the colors are a little cooler, you know what I mean? So I think that's kind of the style that
All right,
they
I'll
were
buy that.
way ahead of the curve. So another one, this is bizarre. I find this crazy that the clean style.
The clean style.
So no fancy frills, no ornamental things,
Minimal
design,
white space.
lots of white space,
Yeah.
lots of white. White is the primary color in some of this
So
stuff.
2023 design trend is good design. So that
Isn't
actually
that amazing?
sums it fucking up, man. There's so much shit out there
Yes.
that is like, wow, to actually strive for good design is
Yes.
now become a trend.
Exactly.
That's so disheartening.
I
dude.
know, isn't that-
what
isn't
what
that
has our
insane?
industry come to?
Exactly.
Oh
This would
my
be like
God.
this would be like you going into the American Eagle store and see jeans and a t-shirt. This is the new hip thing.
Yeah, right.
Never
Wow.
before has this ever been
Finally
seen.
speaks to me. Couple this with
Come
a
on.
brown belt. Oh, fucking great.
What?
Does it have a buckle? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So that is.
So that's the big one to watch out for, guys. Good design in 2023 is a trend.
It's
So
back. Yes.
yeah, it's back. Good design is back. All right, I like the next. I like the next grouping here.
Okay.
Right. This is all type related. Yes.
This is type related stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Number 5.
What I found, and this is interesting.
I concur. I've seen this all over the place.
Exactly. Distorted typography.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
this was hot in the 90s.
This was hot in the 90s, but it's a different flavor than what our man David was doing.
Mr. Carson.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a long, skinny font.
Yeah.
Right? And shifted down at the bottom.
Oh,
very angular. Yes.
Oh, I was getting excited. I thought maybe we were okay. So wait, literally, like distorting the fonts themselves.
Exactly. Like think of the examples that I saw were quite interesting, and it's like it reminded me of the distort filter in Photoshop.
Oh shit!
Remember?
Really?
Where you could go spherize, and do those kind of weird things. It's kind of it looks like that.
So that 100% feels like a trend.
Totally.
And a short-lived one
and
at that.
Very short-lived trend. Yes.
Like I don't even know where you'd want to use that.
I have no idea where this, and I couldn't really find a good execution. That I thought, maybe.
Yeah. See, that's it, right?
It just looks like literally there's text and it's swirling and it's becoming illegible and it's just like
why?
Yeah, like it's like getting flushed down the toilet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and that's what I would do with this trend.
I'll set them up and you knock them down. That's good. Yes.
Oh, that's good. Okay, so that's a flush.
So that
Number 6.
This one is hilarious. Did you know? First, I'll say the title. The Return of the Sans Serif. Did you know it went away?
I had no idea.
I was like, what the
Where
hell?
did they come up with this shit?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I remember for about, a day in 2022 where people were saying, I'm sick of sans serif. But then they were a little tipsy. They had a couple drinks. They woke up the next morning. They're like, what was I thinking? I love sans serif.
You got your blood sugar back up, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm going to keep using Helvetica." Yeah.
So, were they actually trying to make this like a legit?
I think
this is a trend.
What
were they using before this?
Well, this is exactly it. I'm like, apparently for packaging and for like accessibility on websites and apps and things like that. The best thing to do is to have a sans serif font, right?
Oh, fucking shit, Sherlock.
Well, exactly.
And here's the thing: I have seen serifed fonts creeping in the past couple of years, right? And right? And you see this, you see like new font libraries, font factories are coming out with cool fonts, and people are using them in layouts. So it's serifs are creeping back in design. Yeah. So where did this come from? No. Before, let's pump the brakes. Serifs, don't give serifs a chance. We need to go back to sans serif. And while I'm all for it, because I'm a fan of the sans serif, there's a time and place. I just didn't know it was ever gone.
I know. It never entered into my consciousness that
we've been out of touch this whole time.
In fact, I would love to find a serif font that I really love as much as the sans serifs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's interesting.
There are great ones.
There absolutely are.
And my go-to is the jeans and the t-shirt version.
Well, and again, there's a time and place for everything, and especially in the where we play our space.
Yep.
9 times out of 10, a serif is just not going to work.
Exactly.
However, when I'm going online, I'm seeing certain consumer-facing apps, so consumer-facing websites and products. I'm finding that there is a flair and there's a good fit for it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just we don't see that too much. But
this is true. You're right.
But I'm aware enough to know that I didn't think it ever went out of style, only to be brought back next year. And so we're back, baby.
Yeah, but relax, Moss. It's only a trend.
Oh, by 2024,
it'll be gone. We'll all be back to use the serif.
Now they'll be using script fonts.
This is another good one too.
Yeah.
In the type.
Okay, please. Number 7, type trend.
Condensed typography. What?
Oh my God. Well, it is a great space saver.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, it is.
Yes. And so you can get really funky with this kind of stuff. You can get like a real spacey kind of vibe going, with this with a condensed font, black and neon. Apparently that's really happening nowadays.
Well, okay, I do like this whole neon effect. I am a fan of synthwave, so I'm seeing that everywhere.
So, maybe this is.
But
kind of
I don't see any of this condensed typography font in you. I don't know. Tough to say.
Yes.
However, you should be happy because is Impact not one of your favorite fonts? I swear, he tries to fit it in everything. I'm like, dude, stop. Nobody likes this font anymore.
Just when you just want to go out to the store and pick something up, you just throw on your Crocs and away you go, right? You don't care. That's what impact
and
is.
That's exactly.
It's the Crocs of the font
That's
world.
what it feels like.
Comfortable.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
dude,
I know. It's just like a holdover from a different time.
Oh, dude. Well, you've got me to correct you every time.
Yes, thank God. Thank God for pulling me in with that.
All right, fair enough. I think those are hilarious. The distorted is kind of a waste, and it's going down the toilet.
Yeah, that's really weird.
The condensed typography, I don't even have an opinion on that one because, again, that's generally pretty hard to read. And maybe it has a purpose here, there.
In a social thing or some sort of poster or, a one-off kind of deal, I guess. Yeah.
But I'm really, really glad to know that 2023's big font thing is sans serifs are back.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank God.
I was pretty scared. I was... Thank you.
We were dangerously close to being dinosaurs there.
All right, and these last three are kind of interesting, right?
These are just like a kind of weird one-off things,
But I have seen all three of these
exactly, and
all over the place, even in the font side or the logo side. That I'll be my list. Okay. I've seen. So interestingly enough, go.
Yeah, so these seem very trendy.
Yeah.
Which I can totally understand. So the first one, liquid gradients. Everything looks like gold and silver kind of pouring. You remember when Game of Thrones, the guy got the throne of the crown of gold,
pretty creepy.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's
like this old molten look. Yes. Everything like what was it? Mercury, liquid mercury, right? Yeah, dude. I don't. The problem is, how the hell do you even make this stuff?
Yeah,
right. Like you need to be in a 3D app. It's not like most of us use Illustrator, Photoshop. Maybe we've got a couple third-party ones out there, but. Do you not need like 3D modeling apps for this kind of stuff?
It's funny because, I was looking, and if you get a chance, check out the new Orion, the Orion pictures?
Yes. Oh, I saw that.
Did you see that?
Yes. Is that
that's
legit?
That's what this kind of liquid kind of...
that in that sense, that was more the background within the font itself, right?
Exactly. But it's just abstract.
So is that their new logo?
I don't know.
Or is that their new typeface or something?
Whether it's just something that they're experimenting with because it's trendy.
Oddly, it suited it because it's very sci-fi looking.
It's very sci-fi looking.
And it suits that market, right? So interesting, yeah.
So I could see that working in that regard. To me, it looks like... Do you remember... Did you ever use... airbrushing?
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. It's almost
really
like that.
Sucked at that.
It's almost that kind of vibe, like
interesting,
like just a blurby kind of
that
thing. But I mean, again,
hey, whatever.
The Orion, you're right. It was evoking like a space kind of vibe.
Yeah,
which
and it
doing
was
its
on
job.
a black background. It's like almost that's what they were looking for.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I got that vibe. But again,
but
for trend, okay, I find a use for it. It seemed like in that sense that one caught my eye. So okay, fine, good.
All right. So the next one is experimental palettes.
This one's kind of crazy.
This is weird. Yeah. So colors that are weird together.
And apparently this is a good thing.
I know. Apparently this is cool. Green with orange, purple with black. I saw green with orange in a Kudo ad the other day, and it was just like, wow.
So very few companies can pull that off. Kudo, I get it. Yeah.
They're a little funky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
but not too many people are not too many brands out there are like intentionally funky and will go out of their way to try
just to do this.
Like, how do you get opportunities for this? You see, a lot of these design trends I see on people's portfolios, in Dribble.
Yes.
It's trying to find them in real world use. That's the challenge, right? Like, I don't know, man. Like, again, other than Kudo, I don't know many other brands that could pull this off and have the kudos to pull it off.
Nice.
Like what I did there?
But that was really good. That was really good. But the funny thing is I was looking at this and I was like, I don't know. I don't know whether they did pull it off. It just looks so unsettling.
So
and
it
I
is,
think that's
and maybe
kind of what it is.
I was going to say maybe that's the intent.
I think
that it's supposed to kind of look like it doesn't go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just jarring.
Okay. Fair enough.
Kind of just like whoa, and if it gets your attention, maybe it worked. Maybe that's what it's supposed to do.
Oh, but if
it
it's
just
so
seems
unsettling,
wrong.
I know, right?
Design is supposed to. You're not supposed to notice stuff like
this.
Right? You know what I mean?
Well,
like
that one we did.
It's there, yeah. And the last one is the clay look.
This is the
Remember
one I was
plasticine?
thinking of. This is the
Yeah.
one that I was like 3D.
Yes.
How are you even supposed to do this?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
And literally, people are actually doing it with plasticine and taking pictures of it.
But dude, that's okay. I like now.
It's interesting,
You're
right?
bringing the craft back to
There we go.
something.
There we
remember,
go.
Remember the old days before fucking stock photography online, and then
Mm-hmm.
before photo discs, when we needed to come up with a background
What
texture.
did you do?
What?
What did you do?
You used to take your
created it.
camera and you'd create it yourself. I need a rough background, and you would go and take a
Yes.
picture of dirt,
Yes,
or the
yes,
road, and then you would
yes.
blow it up to an 8x10. It would cost you a fortune. You'd scan it, you'd use it. Holy cow! How many
Right.
times I have used that same asphalt texture because
Yes.
it cost me $150 just to get it in my damn computer at the time. That was cool,
But that's what you did.
and that's when it actually felt like a craft.
Yes.
Where
exactly.
as soon as like stock photography came in, I agree, it was 100% more convenient.
It was a time saver.
But I wasn't doing it anymore.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember sometimes I'd be like, okay, guys, I'm off.
Yep.
I'd grab my camera. I'd say goodbye to the team. I would go all day, and I would literally make a whole day and take pictures of backgrounds.
Wow.
Leaves, water, this, that. And don't forget, this was film.
Yeah.
So it
Oh.
fucking cost a fortune, because you try shooting a picture of running water and not knowing how
what
it's
it's
going to
gonna
go. You're taking a picture, changing your settings. There was no little camera or screen to sit there and
it's
say
like,
good,
oh,
bad,
that's good.
right?
Delete. No.
Often it was
just
like,
oh.
okay, here, expose these 5 rolls of film, which would only give you 10 good pictures, and because it costs you hundreds of dollars.
Oh, man.
but it was
you're-
fun.
You're right. It's
This
the
is cool.
craft of
It
that.
is.
Because you became a great photographer.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, because you get the, oh, I like your photography. I
Yeah.
think it's very interesting. It's
But I appreciate that now that you just told me about this clay look. I
Yes.
appreciate the effort that it'll take to go in there.
Yes.
Wow,
Now,
it could be
some,
fun.
some people are creating it.
Okay.
A lot of times it's a digital thing.
It's still digital?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Cool. How cool is that, though? That would be
Yeah,
fun.
I know.
We
It's-
will never have an application for it here
It
at
would
Set
ne-
Factor.
No
but
one will buy that.
I look forward to seeing what other people do with this one.
Yes, exactly.
So okay, yeah, this looks on. I mean, again, everything I looked for, I saw a lot of these, and so I'm curious to see which one of these will make it out of 2023,
Yes.
and which one of these actually make it in production
Yes.
on a regular basis. I'm seeing the retro everywhere.
Yeah.
This some of these cool stuff like 3D Memphis. Man, I would root for that. I don't know how it's going to be used, but it would be really fucking cool.
Yep.
Some of this shit though, oh dude, I don't know, like this distorted typography.
That's
Like,
terrible.
dude, I don't know how this is gonna work.
That's bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Yeah. It just seems kind of strange.
So-
Liquid gradients. Eh.
Crazy.
Yeah.
This list is design trends, graphic design trends. So, like we said, if you're ever gonna use a trend,
Yeah.
be it, if it's gonna have a purpose, maybe there's a purpose in graphic design if
Yep.
you're doing certain things, right? Something that I refer to as disposable design,
Yep.
something that's here today, gone tomorrow, short shelf life, right?
Yep.
But it's nothing that you want to commit to long term.
Yes.
Okay, and that's what I mean. Brands and trends, logos and trends. Those should stay so fucking far apart. Okay.
Yes.
So now my job is to look up logo design trends for 2023.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, this
so
is
this
great.
is the part that, hey, let's just face it. We all know how I am. I'm the jeans and t-shirt guy. Okay. This is why I didn't like them all, because again, I was just like, yo, that's too crazy. No, I can't pull that off. Those jeans are way too tight to fit on my body. Like I could not. That's not me, and this is my impression about logos, right? Like they can't follow trends. They shouldn't follow trends,
yes.
right? Like you don't
That's
want your brand.
bad.
I just don't even like the way that fucking sounds.
It's-
Logo design trends, 2023,
That's wrong.
right?
Yeah.
So again, it's like, all right. Honestly, okay, this one needs a drink, of course. This
Okay,
one needs a little bit of a top off.
yeah. Here we go.
Here we go. Well, and again, and even my whole thing is, sometimes people be like, well, it's just a small local mom and pop shop, right?
Yeah.
That's why they can do a logo design. But the problem is, even if it is a local little coffee shop or something small and whatever, they shouldn't follow these trends because unfortunately, for them, it costs even more money to replace. Like dollars and cents might make even more of a difference to that company. And unfortunately, if they have to replace their sign because after 3 years they look like an outdated business, fuck, that really hurts.
Yes.
So again, this shit should not be in the same category. Okay.
No.
So some of the things I hated. Okay.
Okay.
Logo design trends that Moss was not a fan of for 2023. Okay. I'm seeing it everywhere.
Yep.
Candy colors.
Oh.
So again, I swear I saw this last year under a different name, but it's like these crazy ass, bright, bold, fun, crazy colors. Again, the trendy color for a brand.
Yeah.
And again, that's the quickest way for a brand to outdate itself as soon as everybody gets sick and tired of those colors.
Yep.
But we're talking about like extreme and for a brand, like unless the brand, like lives, breathes this crazy youthful vibe and that's good. You know what? Embrace this shit, run with it. But just to jump on it because, hey, you're a tech company and the trend now is youthful candy colors. You should do it. Wah, wah, wah. Like that's a kick in the nuts. And the problem is they'll get sucked into this toilet bowl of this toilet swirl of trend, and again they'll end up getting flushed down. Like all their money's flushed down the toilet.
Yes, it's a great way to burn up a lot of capital there.
Seriously,
just on something stupid.
So again, I'm a big fan of bright colors, and we did just have a customer, and again in the B2B space, choose a bright color. It was complemented with a very dark color, so it was a dark blue, and it was like a bright gold.
Really?
Right, and bright the two they balanced each other nicely. Right, it was like nice bright, yellow gold, however you want to call that.
Yeah.
But the dark blue is good.
Yeah.
But I wasn't pitching him bright pink with bright yellow with a little swoosh of high intensity cyan in there. Right? Oh fuck! I need a drink.
Well, you don't want your logo to look like a Jolly Rancher. Okay? That's not cool.
Skittles.
Yeah,
Bag of Skittles.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Number 2, and I saw this one show up on a couple different. So again, I followed a very similar format to Sean. I went out there. I looked at obviously a lot of the blogs that are out there.
Yep.
I went on YouTube and saw a couple of YouTube. And I tell you, I swear these fucking YouTube videos were just trying to get high rankings because they didn't even have real people talking, some of them.
Really?
They would have robot voice, like a really bad, like, it wasn't even a good quality AI speaker. It was, I swear, they typed it in their Mac and hit play. They were so bad, but they all said the same shit, right? And then of course, yes, Reddit. I was curious on that one. Nice. And so that's why most of these came from all of these combined. If I saw it 2 or 3 times across all of these, then I was like, okay, it made the list.
Here we go, yeah.
So, glitch logos. Glitch logos.
Yes.
I get it.
Yep.
TikTok's
huge.
It's also the biggest fucking social media company in the world. Okay. They're now bigger than Facebook, right? Yep. They could do whatever they want. Yes. Okay. Because again, people spend so much time on that platform. They could change their logo tomorrow. People will be like, oh, what did you do?
Yeah.
And then the day after, they're like, okay, it's good. It's TikTok. I'm good.
Fair enough.
Just because TikTok does it doesn't mean you should. Right. I don't even care if your market is the same as TikTok's. I don't care if it's 12 to 15-year-old girls who like whatever's on TikTok. No, there's no reason to try to follow something like TikTok because just because TikTok does it is not mean that it's a trend that you should try to follow. That's right. But they're pushing it, and they're like, oh no, glitch effect. And I say this, however, we have a glitch effect when it comes to our YouTube videos going from. So I was like, shit, I got to change it. I will change it, but it's not our logo. It's not our logo.
It's not our logo.
Not our logo.
Then that's fine.
Because I can change that, and it's something. It's reflected. You want to call it disposable, whatever. It's not part of the brand, right? So glitch logos, bad. Keep it away.
Bad.
Okay. So now going back to some similarities to where you had. Okay, liquid mercury or dripping ink.
Yeah.
Okay. I was seeing a lot of this, but again, if your brand. If it makes sense to use this with your brand, right? You're a paint company or some sort of liquid company, something, and you can make it work. Okay, Cool.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep.
If you're just using it because it's cool, it's trendy. Some of the examples I saw were like animal heads, and they had like they were morphing into drips. It made no fucking sense at all. Like nothing, dude. Nothing. So this whole liquid mercury dripping ink, yeah, okay, fine. It might look okay, but don't even think about putting that in a corporate logo. Yeah. It's ridiculous in a brand. No, bad.
That is unacceptable.
So this next one, I want to but I'm really hesitant to implement, okay?
Right.
And this goes back to even what you were going on with retro imagery.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I follow so many people on Instagram, and so many of them have got this awesome red line retro images that they're doing. They're creating these cool little mascots and this, and they all have these like awesome vibes from the 50s, 60s, even 70s. That's really cool. But to commit your brand to something like this is you have to commit your entire brand. Okay. If you just want to use it in a campaign.
Yeah.
Use it as a social post for a couple months, see how it feels. But to like sit there and pitch logos, that company culture, that corporate culture, that brand's culture, it really has to be able to, because you don't want something like this to be, I mean, can you imagine you put something on there, like, I don't know, like a fast guy delivering pizza and he's a little retro guy. Sure, cool, because it's cute right now.
Yep.
In 2 years, when all of a sudden everybody's going on speed and technology and, fast delivering pizza, that guy's not going to cut it anymore.
It's not going to work.
No, it's not, right? You committed to something. And I like what I'm seeing, but I'm a big fan of synthwave. I fucking love synthwave music, and the videos on YouTube, everything is dark with the neon.
Yep.
I would never pitch that, never, right? Never, ever, ever, because I know that it wouldn't work for a brand.
Yes,
it could work for like a backdrop, maybe for a 6-month or even 3-month banner on their website.
Yeah, or trade show,
something right? And we've got that right now in place with some people. Yes, but again, that's not the brand. We're not committing the brand to it. We're committing a temporary campaign that will be here this year, gone next, right? So that one scared me.
Yeah.
Another one that I'm loving, but I'm scared to, cartoon imagery for a brand. Okay. And this one is I'm a big fan of Johnny Cupcakes and everything that brand has to do.
Right.
I love the Psycho Bunny brand. I think that's great, right?
Yeah.
But again, their brand versus the material they're pushing out is very different. Okay. So again, their brand can stay and stay on the test of time, but they're using their cool cartoon imagery in the products that they have, and they're customizing it. So cool on them for doing that.
Right.
But again, to commit your brand to this, and I wanted to find something for our brand.
Yeah.
Cartoon. But you know how hard it was to try to find something that we could just be like, yeah, that's the cartoon figure that's going to represent our brand. Right. That's like our mascot. And we can't, that's keep a mascot separate than the brand.
Yeah.
If you want to introduce, a cartoon figure, if I wanted to embrace this, then we'll create, and maybe we are creating something that we'll have fun with thereafter and be recognizable.
Right.
But it's not going to be the brand itself.
Yes.
Right. And that's why there is a difference between brands and a brand mascot.
Yes.
FYI, we had a brand mascot episode a few months ago. I highly recommend taking a look. Kind of explains this whole difference between the brand and the brand mascot. All right. So again, cartoon imagery is a big trend that I saw people claiming for 2023. But dude, I don't know, man, if that's something I would commit to.
Yeah. It's something like Johnny Cupcakes. I think the execution is very well.
Awesome.
And you got to kind of almost be a fringy kind of thing, right? Like, do you know what I mean?
But the Johnny Cupcakes logo itself has been the same for years.
It's been the same, yeah.
It's his use of all the cartoons, exactly, how he's using it.
Yes.
Same with Psycho Bunny,
There
right?
you go, yeah.
Same logo for a little while, right? The logo itself hasn't changed, but the execution of how they're using the cartoons thereafter.
I get it.
That's what I mean, right? So again, if you want to use that cartoon, and I really want to use a cartoon for our brand, okay, but don't make it replace the brand.
Right.
Use it in the collateral, the materials, the assets thereafter, right?
Yeah.
Assets. I'm sounding like so worky, aren't I? Don't use that word assets, because then you're an ass for using that word. Okay. So those are the ones that I thought were kind of like cringy to bad. Okay. This one I thought was interesting. Number 6. Okay. A lot of places were saying that opposite to what you said, Sean.
I was just going to say
completely opposite to the design trend. Apparently, for brands, serifed fonts are coming back.
Whoa.
Okay. So now, not to be confused with the design trend
Yes.
of sans serif fonts, apparently. I've been reading a couple places saying that there's going to be, a creep up of serif fonts coming through, and they've already got some early examples of brands making this jump. Which, okay, so there is a place for serif fonts. There always has been.
Totally.
Certain brands like Rolex, Mercedes, Tiffany & Co., Vogue, Coach, they've always had serif, right?
Right.
But they've been positioned as very, very high-end items, right? So whether or not you can break away from that or not with serifs, right, is a different story. But I mean, the whole point of serifs, people stayed away from serifs.
Yep.
Because back in the day when things started going digital, serifs were so small, the screen resolution was low, things kind of shook on screen, right?
Yeah.
But people forget the whole point of a serif, for hundreds of years has been because serif fonts apparently are easier for the eye to read. Easier to process.
Exactly.
Those little serifs, blend into each word, and it kind of helps the word, helps the eye flow, right? Leads one letter into the next. So there is a time and place. So now the technology is so far advanced. Our fucking watches have got more more resolution than the monitors in the 70s and 80s, right?
Yeah.
So it's like now there is a place where serifs can make a comeback, and there is some. I don't know how many of you know the website A List Apart. Okay. And it was, it's a fantastic website, and it's very, very heavy on type, very typography, but it's always been, a serif site. I think they're still using it anyway. But again, it was such a nice, easy read. It was something different. Whether I think it was using serifs when serifs were completely out of style was forbidden, right? But it was just a nice change to be able to read serif fonts on a screen.
Yes.
So now to see serif fonts creep themselves into, logos, that can be digitized thereafter. I think this has got potential because I do know that there are some digital serif fonts out there. How do I describe this? Fonts made specifically to be digitally friendly. So thicker serifs, right? And that's what I'm seeing a lot more of lately.
Yes.
So I was kind of shocked to see that sans serif is coming back.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking that there might be something. I think I'd like to see where this goes.
Yes.
And this would be something I'd probably more welcome, not as a trend, but as a challenge.
Yes.
To see how to make this work.
How is this going to go?
Because, unfortunately, most of the people that I follow, they're not using serifs.
No.
Right? No. And again, nobody's using serifs, right? Yes. Everybody's got a very similar clean look and feel. So I'd encourage this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Ready? Logo design trend for 2023, number 7. Tall or high logos, Sean?
Of course,
right?
A tall logo.
Apparently, this new creative approach is to take the very, very famous wide logo or square logo and make it work in a tall vertical format, right? Otherwise known as stacked, maybe centered, lined. Some of these I had to just put out here because it's just the stupidest fucking shit I have read in my life. So we're big proponents. And again, we've always done this, but when you're creating a logo for somebody, you got to present them a horizontal version and then a vertical version if the space allows, right? We're big believers of this, responsive logo or adaptive logo. See the podcast about adaptive logos.
Exactly.
But I mean, again, the whole point here is, your logo needs to look the best it can based in the place, the size, the dimensions. It has to be represented, right?
Exactly. Yeah, there's all kinds of places where just your old long wide logo isn't going to work anymore.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. Right.
One version will not rule them all.
Exactly. Yeah. Nice. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, this is kind of silly. I don't even know why this is now a trend. But the funny thing is the way they're positioning it is no. Break away from the wide. Go tall. So they're basically saying, fix it tall. Don't do both. Wow, I'm saying, if anything, the trend should be fucking adaptive. Convince your customers they need a wide, they need a tall, and maybe something that fits in the middle if the space is funny, right? Again, if Disney can do it, heaven forbid. I mean, they might know a thing or two.
Yeah,
Coca-Cola might know a thing or two, right?
Exactly.
Like the biggest brands in the world have adaptive logos that are basically the logo will change based on the space provided.
Yep.
And it rocks.
Yes, and it works. It works very well.
Yeah.
Especially with Disney. That's brilliant.
That's a really good job on theirs, right?
Yes.
So that's number 7, which is stupid.
Okay, it's all logo.
And you know what? These last ones just get stupider.
Yeah, I was
and
just
stupider.
gonna say
I don't even know why
This is
I'm
the
even.
bottom of the barrel, folks.
Apparently, logo design trend for 2023 number 8 is the simplification of logos. So again, this has been happening for a little while now. Okay, we had an episode about this. Of course, we talked about this. Companies like Facebook, Google, Microsoft, Airbnb, Spotify, they've simplified their logos to just a font.
Yep.
I'm not a fan of that. I think they went too far.
Yes.
Okay, and I got my reasons why, right? They're dropping all the unique elements. Right? They're dropping the icons, the marks that separated them, and they just committed to a font.
Yep.
Okay? And I'm totally not a fan of that. Okay, and there's some reasons why, right? Number one, they're always going to be like, well, this is a digital world now. Fuckheads, we've been a digital world now for 20 years. The past 10, mobile hasn't changed that much. Like, the world has come to agree with this, right?
Yeah.
So throwing out that digital is the reason is a bunch of bullshit.
It's crap.
100% bullshit. Then we've got this whole cognitive fluency idea, okay? Where it's like, well,
Science.
if Google did it,
Yeah.
then we should do it because we're Spotify and Google's the leader in this space. So, we want to follow like that.
see.
There is legit cognitive fluency is legitimate. It's legit. It's science. But in all fairness, I don't necessarily think that's the reason either, personally, right? However, that would explain why a lot of the high fashion brands went that way.
Have gone that way.
They
'cause
backed up.
They really
Boy,
doubled
did
down
they
on that
jump
stuff.
on that
Yes,
one really
totally.
quick. So now they're either very, very simple and sans serif, or you have the very, very drastic serif Louis Vuitton stuff, right?
yes.
So anyway, cognitive fluency is another example why. Okay. The dumbification of masses, okay, is a legitimate reason
What y'all
why.
mean by that?
So again,
Sorry, our southern listeners.
we are in this kind of whole world where everything is happening so fast, right? Our attention span is getting less and less. So it's like, you know what? Less the process. Drop the logo insignia and just give them the name, and they'll get it.
And they'll get it.
it.
Yeah.
That might be the reality,
Right.
But I still think that that's not the reason why they're doing it. Okay. Unfortunately, that's happening now. That attention spans are getting so small. Okay, that the dumbification of masses is a real thing.
Yeah.
And they might be playing into that. Okay, maybe that's their reason, even though they may not be as crude to just come out and say it.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, the reason why they're doing this is pure fucking laziness. Absolutely fucking laziness. And the reason being is because, some of the most beautiful fucking logos in history, okay? The most awesome logos, right? Type marks, they're the most simplest ones.
Yep.
Like the FedEx logo. It's simple, and that execution of that stupid little negative space, brilliant, okay? Then we've got, word marks like sharp, hasn't changed forever.
Yeah,
It's
right.
beautiful. Vans. You could argue that Vans is like a little outdated, but it's Vans. It rocks. You can't change that.
Yeah.
And again, they didn't just take the word, but they did something with the letters to own it, right? Braun is another one. They took the letters, stretched them out, played with them, and they did something to own it. So what I'm saying is these people have just gotten really fucking lazy by just being like typing out,
Just the word.
Google.
Yeah. What font am I gonna use? Yeah,
No.
there we go. Oh, yeah.
Proxima Nova, no. Nexa Bold.
Yeah,
I
there
like
we go.
it.
Done.
Yeah, okay. Wait. The leading is -10. Let's go to leading 0. They've just gotten fucking lazy.
Yeah,
They're-
that's pretty bad.
You have to start making relationships with these letters. You have to do something like these other brands did, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's tightening, kerning, changing some of the A centers, D centers, making that connection.
Yes.
You've got it. So again, pure fucking laziest.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? We're not even just the word marks. What about the letter marks? Okay. Some of the most beautiful letter marks out there that are so recognizable, like IBM. Letters, but again, Paul Wren took it one step further, put those lines in there.
lines in there.
Hasn't fucking changed it.
Yes.
Right? That logo hasn't changed for like 40 years now, right?
Beautiful.
RCA. Again, something
yeah,
simple, right? NASA. They tried to change, the world revolted, they went back, right? And again, they changed that font, they changed the little spacing, and it's theirs. EA Sports, CNN, even HBO.
Oh, yeah,
Okay?
right.
So again, you could argue that these are equally as simple as the shit that we've seen right now, okay? But they've taken it a step further and tried to find what that connection was. And now they've created logos that last forever.
Yes.
So in my opinion, when you see Google, Microsoft, Airbnb, Spotify, Pinterest, you know what? Pure fucking laziness.
Yes,
100%.
exactly.
I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
That's in my opinion what they did with that.
Totally. Yeah, they've really kind of pared it down to and everything looks generic. Everything looks the same.
Horrible, right?
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pure laziness. Pure laziness.
Oof.
All right. Here's another design trend. A logo design trend for 2023, number 9. Ready for this, guys?
Yep.
Using negative space.
Wow.
Holy shit.
2023, you've done it.
Yeah,
You've
right?
done it.
You know, World Wildlife Foundation, FedEx, they were ahead of their times when they did this.
Wow.
This is a hot trend for 2023. I swear I've seen this trend for 2022, 2021. The reality is so few
Dude.
people can actually take advantage of it. It's not a trend. It's fucking brilliant design. Okay? If you can fucking make this work, you are a genius. This is a fucking trend.
Yeah, it's a trend. Holy, something that's a fundamental to what we do
Wow,
is now
right?
a trend.
Look to the negative space,
I
people,
weep.
when doing this. Okay. And ready? And this was my favorite one. Okay.
Okay.
This sums it all up and how much cred you give these fucking stupid logo design trend things. Okay. Number 10, which should be number 1 design trend for logos in 2023. Ready?
I'm ready.
Using icons in letter marks. Now, not to be confused with a logo that uses an image and text. You know, this trend is where companies are using an icon in a letter mark, okay? And not like a logo. So it's a letter mark, but with a symbol attached to it.
Wow.
So that when people see it over enough times, you can remove the word and recognize the brand by the symbol. So, you know, maybe a company can use a swoosh over top of their name. And then once people are and get this swoosh,
And then drop it.
drop the name, and it's like, hey, that swoosh is that company that I don't know. Let's just call them Nike, maybe. You know, potentially using like a fruit, like an apple.
no, that would work.
That could work. That could
Yes.
work. And then, you know, after a while, when somebody recognizes, you drop the word and you just have the icon. So the number 10, which should be the number 1 trend
That's
for
number
2023,
Yes. Oh my
is
God.
using an icon with a word mark, everybody. I don't understand.
Way to go.
I had to
Way
read that
to
like
go. Yeah,
5 times to be like, am I
is
really understanding what they're
my
saying?
God.
Oh, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's just that one was just comic relief. That's a great way to finish. I mean, really, that sums up my feelings about like logo design trends.
Yes.
Again, it can't be a trend. It's your
cannot.
brand. It's your
Don't.
logo.
Don't.
You want to jump on something, introduce a campaign, you know what? Grow that potential account with that customer and be like, let's keep your logo classic
Yep.
and let's like, you know, exploit these trends using campaigns and shit.
Exactly.
But dude, you can't go down this road.
No,
this is
not,
so horrible.
Not for a logo. This.
Oh my God.
that's
this
just
is so
wrong.
bad.
But I do like how negative space is coming back.
Oh, it's
in
coming back,
in logo
dude.
design.
It's coming
Wow,
back. For a little
okay.
while, that FedEx logo was out of style.
It was way.
People are
hip.
like,
Yeah.
that arrow, that makes no sense. They're a delivery company.
Yeah, come on.
What the fuck?
Oh,
Oh,
geez.
buddy. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is my favorite time of year.
Yes, this is
bash this shit.
This is a good rant.
Oh,
for sure.
fuck.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's interesting. So some things maybe exactly like you said, you might be able to get away with design trends,
Yeah.
but logo trends.
Keep them separate.
follow that.
I don't mind. You know what? I've come around to maybe accepting trends because it has its purpose, its place. It breaks my heart that now it's like we have to consider, you know, the fact that there is disposable design.
Yes.
Okay. I have like 4, 5, 6 of those old Volkswagen brochures from the 1960s.
Those are gorgeous.
Right? And these were like very, very, I went to a bug fest this summer and there was people selling whatever. There's a swap meet part. And this guy was selling old advertising material for, you know, that the dealerships would give out to whoever was interested in buying a Volkswagen back in the 60s, right? When it just first came to the country. Yep. Looking at this shit now, it's timeless. They're beautiful.
Oh, man.
Right? And honestly, I can't tell you how beautiful they are, right? The white space, the balance, the images, what they would do. They didn't follow trends.
Yeah.
They employed good design on these, right?
Exactly.
Honestly, that should be a fucking. I gotta do a blog on that.
I think you should.
Just to share these beautiful pieces of art, right?
Totally, yeah.
And again, these things are 50 fucking years, over 50 years old, right? Like, I mean, do the math. 60, right?
Yeah.
1960s.
1960,
Holy shit. And again, they're beautiful. I literally I threw them in the back and I left them back there. So some of the
weird.
younger
Just, like,
kids
through 'em,
were like, pick up on some of these awesome design. Like, they're beautiful. And so they didn't follow trends. They followed good design.
Yeah.
And again, good design always wins.
That's right.
Okay. This is what breaks my heart because that is 60 years old and still looks beautiful.
Still works. Still works.
Following trendy design shit is, with this whole disposable design, it's heartbreaking.
Yep.
Because again, it's here today, it's gone tomorrow. It's not memorable.
Nope.
I don't think I'm going to look at something from 3 years ago and be like, "Oh, that was so great."
bring that
right?
back.
We should because again, it's just like, "Oh, that's ugly." Right?
was I thinking?
There was no foundation in good design on any of this shit. A lot of it's like trendy colors, textures, effects, and unfortunately, this probably has a lot to do with the technology that we're dealing with now and what is possible and what's not. Those brochures, dude, and all those things, the literature that I got, that was all hand done.
No computers involved in that shit.
No, right? Because again, back then, seriously, Letraset cutting out those things.
Yes.
And again, they're beautiful. The balance, the white space, how they did this, and they did it all by hand.
Yep.
Where now shit is so easy and quick to kind of here today, gone tomorrow. It's kind of heartbreaking. And I hope that this isn't a reflection of what the future of design is going to be like.
Right.
I
I agree with you on that one. That would be depressing because it's kind of like these are just stuff like that. Like you look at that kind of stuff and you think it's just magic. Like it literally it could go out today.
Yes.
For something.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like it's so well done.
Right. So, and I think that's where we
trends.
have to be careful here.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, I don't know if I would recommend to any new designer not to follow trends.
Yes.
Don't. You want to make a quick buck, you want to go screw some people, fine. Do trends.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have to create something that's here today, gone tomorrow, and you're okay with that, fine. Follow a trend.
Yeah.
Fine. If that's what the case. But if you actually want to learn how to be a designer, if you really want to understand good design fundamentals, dude, run from trends.
Yes.
Understand the basics. We have an episode on that too. Fuck, we got a lot of episodes. Apparently, we got like 14,000 minutes worth of episodes.
That's right.
I love you. Seriously, it's like it's you have to implore these fundamentals, right? And then again, then you will create shit that will look good not now, not for 5 years, but for fucking apparently 60 years.
Yes,
dude. Yeah,
man, that would be quite the legacy to have.
It'd be really cool.
And the funny thing too is, while I was doing this research, what really kind of stuck in my head is like, it takes a lot of time to get good at something.
Yeah.
So these trends, if you get good at something and then it's gone,
it's gone.
You know what I mean? Like that would really be disappointing. So all of a sudden you've got this really cool thing that was hip for
5 minutes,
and then now nobody uses it
or
anymore.
what's even funny, not only that, and I totally understand what you're saying, but some things take months to execute. A website,
that's it.
So you put in, you got all these design, you build the website, it goes through reviews, it lasts 6 months. Next thing you know, when you launch, it's out of date.
Whoa,
it's out of style.
So bad.
Oh,
yeah.
that was so 2022, guys. that followed the design trend from back then.
Yeah.
It used serifs.
Yeah,
I know.
crazy.
It's honestly, you want longevity in this space. If you follow good design, plain and simple, you can go forever in this space. And I mean, that's why the greats have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And think about it. I mean, like when you start thinking about people like the Paul Rands of the world or the Massimo Vignellis, their stuff is timeless because they didn't follow trends. Okay, they followed good design, right? That they made sure the hierarchy was correct. They made sure they understood white space, balance. These were the important elements. It really comes down to the basics.
Yeah.
Understand the basics, master the basics, and you will have
around with whatever.
Yeah. You will fucking last for a lifetime.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Keep that in mind. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, cool.
Oh,
Oh, see, I didn't even have to get angry at that one. That one was just legit. That was heartfelt.
You should have seen this guy though. I mean, I thought his head was going to come off when he with the logo stuff with the word marks there.
Guys, icons with word marks. Okay, I think somebody should let Nike know that they're doing it wrong. Wait. Nike got it right. Maybe Adidas got it wrong.
Yeah,
wait.
Hold on.
Wait.
Jeez, I don't know.
Apple? Jeez, I'm trying to think now. The example they actually gave was Pinterest. And I'm like, are you aware that Pinterest has pretty much dropped their icon now? Bad example. You can now use it in a favicon. No shit. No shit. For fuck's sakes. All right.
Wow,
With that being said, guys, I'm sorry. You heard our design trends for next year, and you heard us bash the logo design trends for next year. All right.
That's right.
Please, throw back some feedback, drop us some comments, hit us up on our website. We love the conversations, and again, I don't mind getting nasty. We don't get nasty. Everybody's been really cool.
Yeah.
And I can't. Of course, nobody has to. They don't always agree.
Yeah.
But we're always
That's
at a
awesome.
good place from this, right?
exactly.
And that's it. Hit us up on our website, of course, and leave us if you have anything you want to know or whatever, you can drop us a line there. You can hit us up on our Instagram. We're constantly. I mean, it was so great today when I had all these people sharing how many minutes that they did this all through Instagram and they put it through their stories, and I'm just like beside myself.
Yeah,
dude,
like,
it was
shit.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
God, I love you guys.
It's great.
But again, we try to get back to everybody, and if not, hit me a second time and be like, dudes, what the fuck are you doing? I sent you a message a week ago. But we're generally pretty good. Okay? I try to catch up at least Saturday mornings, oddly enough. And then again, leave us a review on your favorite place where you actually listen to it. Whether it's Apple, whether it's Spotify, whether it's Google, or wherever.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty. Oh, and last but not least, come see us on YouTube.
Yes.
You can see what we look like, how good, how bad we are. This is probably where we've got more material planned for YouTube than we do actually for Instagram in the near future. But again, we're looking to roll that out in the new year, so stay tuned for that.
Some good stuff for you. And swag, possibly.
Oh, he wanted to drop that swag. Okay, we're this close. By the time this releases, we might actually release it. I know. Right now, I'm the holdup. I'm like, oh. Feedback's been good, though. All right, good, fine. With that being said, everybody, my name's Massimo.
My name's Sean.
Stay creative
And stay angry.